Miller. Our guest today is Rabbi Yossi Harlig from the Chabad of Kendall and Pinecrest and Friendship Circle. Something significant happened earlier this week, and you were on your way back from a trip that you were taking, and you got a phone call from the campus in Friendship Circle and Chabad. Why don't you tell us about what the email and the phone call was about and what occurred?
Yes, I just came back with a trip from my family. I was coming from the West Coast, so I took the red eye and getting into a car to Uber to get back to South Dade to my office. And my secretary calls me, my assistant says, "Did you just see the email that came through?" I said, "No, I'm not looking at my emails. I'm just heading back." Says, "You won't believe what happened." Said, "We just got an email from the people that are working on the campus that someone came onto the campus and caused some major damage to the point that it's really going to shock you." So I said, "What do you mean?" "You got to come and see it yourself." And I came onto the campus and I could not believe my eyes what I saw.
Before we go on, we're going to show Channel 10 was out there and covered it.
Correct.
Andres, if we can put that up there, it's about a minute and a half or 2 minute clip. So we're just going to watch that and we'll comment afterwards.
Okay.
Now to a story you'll see only on Local 10 News. The synagogue under construction in southwest Miami-Dade is out thousands of dollars after vandals broke in and damaged much-needed equipment. Local 10's Roshlo spoke with the rabbi who says the crime won't stop them from moving forward.
You know, this is such a sad story on so many levels. I want to show you something here. Somebody came into this construction area where there's going to be a synagogue and a campus for children with special needs, and they just went in and they cut all these wires, costing hundreds of thousands of dollars and delaying this very special project.
All these wires here were running across on top. They ripped them all down.
Just look at this.
This is the electric box. They came in, they cut everything out.
Rabbi Yossi Harlig of the Chabad of Kendall awoke Tuesday morning to see his new synagogue under construction vandalized.
But one thing we do know is that we are not going to allow a story like this to stop us from opening up the center.
On this campus will not only be a synagogue, but the new home for the Friendship Circle, which provides 26 programs for 300 families with special needs children. This is the video they sent out to donors for the new campus.
In every program, there is a one-to-one pairing between a typical teen and a participant with special needs. And that's what's so unique about that Friendship Circle.
From here, it runs throughout the whole building. So you basically have to pull everything out and rerun it.
Harlig says so many people were looking forward to the completion of this project.
Well, Friendship Campus is where every child with special needs, every young adult with special needs could call it their home. We came in the morning, we saw all this cut.
Why would they do that?
Why people do that, this is so shocking to me. I can't understand, especially knowing what any building, but especially a building like this, where it's for the Friendship Circle and the Chabad and all the lives that we're gonna be able to help. This will unfortunately cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Right over here, we're going to have a designated music room. The kids are learning ukulele, they're learning the drum, there were years we did the guitar, and we really want to have a special space.
That's why it was so painful when we walked in saying, why would someone want to do something like that?
And you heard from the rabbi there. He says it was so painful, but he is not going to stop his work. He says this will take time and money, but the dream will become a reality, and the Friendship Circle will have a new campus, and there'll be a new synagogue. In Kendall, I'm Roshlo, Local 10 News.
Want to discover the French culture?
So as you watch that, it's such an emotional issue because the things that you do there and the hundreds of families that you provide service for. So what was that like when you walked in there and you see that from a spiritual point? What was it like that somebody came along, or people, I don't know, one or more people, and they deliberately and maliciously and carefully took out those wires?
My first reaction was when I was pulling up, you don't really understand what happened. You think it's, something minor that happened. And then when you walk in and you see what's happening, you say, wow, whoever did this knew what they were doing, and they went to places that actually affect the whole campus. And literally like a day or two before, we're all excited. We're about to close the walls because every step you have to spend so much time meticulous, running the low voltage that's going to be there for the cameras, for the sound system, for the fobs on the door. And we were like excited. Okay, finally they finished all that. So then we could put the sheetrock up, and now we could really roll quickly, and we could finally open up this campus. This has been going on for a long time, for 15 years maybe, from when we bought the property and this dream. And now we felt like we're in the home stretch. We were in the middle of a campaign to raise a few more $1 million. We just got $1 million challenge gift from someone, and we were more focused on opening it up and when we're going to open. And then you see, wow, someone or somebody or a group of people, whoever it is, did something that really is going to cost us a lot of money to catch up now, slow us down, and cause a lot of heartache and pain. And I thought of thinking about all the lives that are families that are waiting for this finally to be open, and this was like a stab at that.
So it's not just the money. I mean, that's a big part, but it's the delay in providing services.
Correct.
For those children and for the people that want to go there for religious services.
Correct.
So that is now delayed for some period of time.
Yeah, to understand why, people don't understand, it's just a little bit of wires. It was cut at a place that every wire in the building has to be rewired. So they have to right now go, pull out all the wires of the building, strip the building like there was nothing there, and then start all over from the beginning.
So the buildings themselves are about how many square feet?
20,000.
20,000. So that the whole building was...
Both buildings.
Both buildings, 20,000 feet that were wired.
Correct. The walls were about to basically close
And
within
now
a
they got
week.
to start over.
Not only working backwards, because you got to first take everything out.
And so the people that went there, it appears that they did not steal the wires that were in the buckets there. Their job seemed to have been just make a mess of the existing wires there and make you have to start over from that.
I don't know what was in their mind when they walked in, that I don't know. And people ask me all along, is it this, is it that? I don't know. But the result of their action and what they did is they hit the places that really have the biggest impact on the whole building.
So as a religious person, how do you balance out your faith and then the frustration and or anger that you might have over this? How do you balance that?
So my initial reaction always when I walk in is, I can't believe this happened. Like, who would want to do this? Like, why would someone want to do this? And, there could be a lot of different theories, and everyone could have their theory, how it looks, how it doesn't look. Police could say one thing, investigators say something else, insurance company will say something else. Everyone will have their theory about it. But my initial reaction is, I can't believe this. Like, we were so close, and now we took a step back. But my next thing is my natural tendencies, maybe my religious upbringing and my philosophy in life. God, there's always bumps in the road of life. Life has always challenges, and we all have challenges in life. And every morning we wake up with a challenge. It could be building a center for one person. It could be something in your family. It could be in health. But to me, it always is, this is an opportunity for greater growth, greater realization. And now, in an unfortunate way, more people are talking about now what the programs that we do, helping through the Chabad community, through the Friendship Circle community. Many, many people, it's so heartwarming, reached out to me this morning after seeing this on the news and getting our notification about it, that how could we help? So it brings out, on one hand, you brought out the dark people of Monday night, what they caused to our community. But then on the other hand, you get to see such beauty and such love and such care. People say that we have $250,000 that's definitely right now that we know, between having to repay to rewire all the buildings, between having to hire security right away. We have security now throughout the night. Having to pay a guard to be on it. Now over the weekends, the Labor Day weekend, I was thinking about it this morning. We need to have a guard there all the time. And the delay of job, at least it's $250,000 for right now. What insurance will cover, that will take us a year to find out. But right now we need to continue the job. So, we started a GoFundMe page. People are stepping up to help, and that's very encouraging.
So in 3 or 4 or 5 months, you're going to be able to look back at this. So what does it look like in your head in 3 or 4 months, looking back to, August 30th or 31st, and saying, here's what happened back then? What's that scenario look like for you and your congregants and the people that are working on the staff there? I
mean, 2 things. One, I think, is God willing, and the way I see the future is that stories like this rally around the community. So I know that this is going to make us even stronger and being able to have impact on more people. Someone reached out to us last night already and said, "Oh, I saw this clip on about the French Circle. I need my child to join the program." And I believe that every opportunity that you have and every challenge you have is an opportunity to say, they brought darkness Monday night. How can we bring even more light? There are people that are dead set and focused on causing damage. It could be for financial reasons. It could be for hate. Whatever the reason is, fill in the blank. Now the good people, and we have a lot of great people, and I have great board members and great people around us who are involved in the French Circle, who are involved in the Chabad. That brings out the goodness of people to work even harder to say someone tried to stop building a campus like this. For whatever their motivation was, we're going to work even harder to make it even better and brighter. And I believe this is going to be a turning point to make it even brighter and impact more people's lives.
Certainly this type of thing, and there was no writing on the walls, there was no spray paint,
No.
there was no other damage,
No.
no holes in walls where they beat a hammer in there. This type of thing, the message was strong and clear. They wanted to cause a lot of grief. The community, when they look at what happened, I hope that they recognize this can happen to everybody and anybody. In this particular case, when we looked at it happen to religious people and to hundreds of families who need assistance, mostly autistic. And when do you think now that there might be the grand opening of the Friendship Circle?
That's a good question. I don't know. I don't want to say a date right now, but it's definitely going to push off the date. We're trying to work on it now and figure out, but it's definitely going to push the opening. But we're encouraged that we're going to open up even bigger and better and stronger. And that's something that's important. I mean, the sad part is how much we have to invest in security. That's the world. That's a very sad thing. There are billions of dollars set up for security, but it is the world.
I'm trying to imagine that the day that you open, that you have the ribbon cutting and the conversations that are going to be done publicly and then privately. Hey, you know what happened back in August and September? When was that? And you have that conversation. That's a type of conversation that can go on for a long time. Here's what occurred over there, and here's what's happened. So we know the eyes of South Dade are on you and on the members that are there and on the community about what we are going to do to make this right. So what is it that we as a general community can do to help?
Right. So the number one, people ask me right now what could help. So right now, really our big challenge right now is we have the right builders, we have the good low voltage people. It's financial, is because right now they're saying, okay, you got to pay again for running all these wires. So really we're like, and right now literally the clock is ticking just now. I need for the next 3 days to have security. They said that costs you $30 an hour just to have a security guard, and they're good. So right now it's really a cash of $250,000 just to keep the thing on the track. We're in the middle of we're about to start a $2 million campaign to open the building, but this put us $250,000 back. So we have a GoFundMe page, which we could share right now. That's, a big help going to be to us for right now.
And so people, they want to go to it's on GoFundMe. How does that list it under Chabad?
No, there's,
Friendships.
I got to get I don't even know. It's
why we're doing that. People can go to Chabad of Kendall and Friendship Circle. They can find out more about
ChabadofKendall.org or FriendshipCircleMiami.org and learn more about it. But we have and then we could also put it on to the.
So during this school year, typically, how many students that are in the local schools donate and contribute their time at Friendship Circle, typically?
We have over 300 families that get to go to our programs. Right now, we have maybe 180 volunteers that are there, between 180 and 120 kids that we service.
And what about the volunteers? It's the students.
Yes, we have about 100. 180 volunteers.
And those are from local schools.
Correct.
So if there's good news about this, that those students are going to be sharing with their families and their friends what happened to this organization over there. And you're on 87th and 112th Street. People can, if they drive by, they'll get a feel for what's happening. Decades ago, when you opened the Chabad of Kendall,
Right.
when was that, 1994? When was that?
When I opened the organization was August of 95. August of 95.
That you opened Chabad, you started that, and then eventually you wound up bought the property next door, and you had this vision. And we know the story that you didn't have the deposit to secure the land next door. And you said, don't worry, we're going to get it. And you did do that. And so people do have a lot of faith in you and being able to make this happen. And you have done that successfully. And as you point out, this is a bump in the road. And hopefully in a couple of months, you're going to look back and say, whew, I suspect that whew is going to happen faster
100%
than what originally thought. So, I'm asking people to dig deep and figure out how they can tell people about what's going on and to
right. So it's GoFundMe.com/F/Friendship Campus. That's the address. GoFundMe.com/F/Friendship Campus. I'll give it to you so you could put it onto the screen if you want.
Okay. So we have a holiday that's coming up soon. Tell us about that.
Yeah. So we have Rosh Hashanah coming up, which is in a few weeks, which is the new year, and which is a time of reflection. It's a time of accepting once again God as the King of the universe, and accepting upon yourself again what this coming year is going to be. So for us, next year is a very big year. We're opening up in the Jewish calendar. We're opening up our new campus, and to me, it's always exciting to go into something and not knowing how it's going to come out. I know you made the joke. I didn't know how we'd get the deposit. If you asked me a week ago, what was my challenge to open up the thing? We need to raise another $2 million to open up the campus, and we have $1 million challenge gift. I didn't expect a week later to say, come on, no, we got something new that we got to deal with. And I think it's really a reflection of life that you always have to remember that there's always curveballs come your way. There's always things come up that you think that your next challenge is going to be this. It's going to be something that you don't even expect. But the beauty of challenge, and I believe that's what God gives us tests, I really believe it, is to make it stronger. Would I ask for it? No. Do I want this? No. But now that it's here, we don't say, oy vey, this happened. What we say is, what are we going to do about it? So I never for a second, as soon as it happened, it may have been a split moment, oy vey, what happened? They're looking around. But my next thing, okay, what are we going to do about it? How are we going to make the world a better place? How are we going to make this campus stronger? How are we going to make the moment of these people that came in Monday night to cause whatever they wanted to cause and whatever they had in mind when they walked in? How do we turn it around and say, you try to do this? That's going to bring us to bring even more light, to help even more people, to change the world in a greater way. Financially, it's a big hit for us and time-wise, but I'm sure the community are great people. They're going to help us get there, and we're going to be even stronger and better and be able to bring even more light to the world.
What a great way to end the show. Rabbi Yossi Harlig, thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael and Grant, for always, people don't understand the power of the show, that your focus is not, people say if it bleeds, it leads. You don't only focus that. You focus on bringing the good word out to the message to the people, and I commend you for that. And you may not even realize how many lives you impacted. They don't come back to you, they watch your show, and and they say, I watched the show, whatever show it may be, and it changed my life. And they don't get back to you about it, but you do change people's lives. So thank you for what you do.
My pleasure. And Andres, thank you very much for producing the show, folks. Thanks for watching, and be careful out there and have a good